Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets, cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocket here, ain't stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future, but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell them I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. We already know that we the coldest. Watch me heat it up, let me focus. I'm going toe to toe with foes. I know they notice. I kick in doors, they only hope for closing. Why? Cause they know I go again. And when they get a drought, I'm the one that can make it flow again. Talk to me nice, my team, they ready to go again. Running into us, we'll gladly send you home again. Yo, we don't talk, better know the grind, gon' match my walk. I'm a cheat code, I don't take no loss. Making no sense, run up the scope, cause all I do is win. And I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell them I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. I'm winning again and it's all on repeat. I'ma just sit at the top cause I'm winning.
I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Okay, dream so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can top that. No way, critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell them all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble on, I ramble on. I'm about to get my ramble on, and I'm the one they really couldn't get a handle on.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite time of year, the off season with the designated Spittaz. What is going on, chat? How you doing over there? My brother Francis Lee. What is going on, fam?
Que lo que? We in the building. What's up, chat? What's up, NYYU family? What's up?
Oh, we in the building, all right. Let me tell you something. I gotta be real, man. I'm still a little bit full from Milano Market. Yeah, man. I've been a little beat up from Milano Market, man. A lot of delicious food. Oh yeah. Pizza Minetti 8. Let me tell you right now, Pizza Minetti 8.
Let me tell you, I had that half a sandwich there. We definitely walked down to the park over there by Riverside Drive. And, you know, we chowed down, man. I had another piece of the sandwich. I, drove home. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I've been doing well, my diet, everything. I'm gonna wait. I'm going to save it for tomorrow. Son, I turned on Monday Night Football and I started dogging the rest of the sandwich, bro. I'm not going to lie.
I said that video. I think I was singing in the video. Wasn't I singing a song?
You were singing a song. You were working on the on-site, the Milano on-site already. And you're singing while you're putting the sandwich and everything.
Let me tell you something. That's when you know you love food. When you sing into a sandwich, you know that either one, you have a problem, or two, you just really love your food. I got a little bit of both. I gotta be honest with you. Hey. I got a little bit of both, but we are here to talk some Yankee baseball. Everybody in the chat, what is going on? Do me a big favor here and smacky that likey, hitty that subby. We are one subscriber away, by the way, from 38,500 being 1,500 subs away from the big ol' 40K, baby. We getting close, so make sure. Bada bing! 38,500. There it is. Thank you, guys.
That was quick. That was fast.
I mean, look, I didn't even finish. And it was just boom. It was done already. So
like when your team gets out to a quick lead early in the game, you're like, hey, look at that.
And then the fifth inning happens.
Sorry, guys. We had to, you know. I'm sorry. It's
You know what's sad? I still got the stupid World Series shit on, but I just can't help myself, man.
Look at me.
Bro,
We're sick. We're sick individuals.
We're really sick in the We're sick in the head. We're sick in the head. Get me a doctor.
We need help.
Look, if anything ever happens to me, it's BetterHelp's fault because I said they need to be a sponsor, BetterHelp, and they never reached out.
They haven't reached out because they think that they can't do business with us. They think,
I can't.
But what they don't realize is we're probably sending them some clients. Okay, a lot of people.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We are
150%.
We are sending them clients. There's no denying that.
No doubt about it. Come on now.
Let me go ahead. Did I just up this a little too much? Hold on a second, guys. By the way, I know you guys know this already. This is how Diaz says, "Look, well, we're gonna get to the topic. I promise you." But this is what we do, man. Hold on. There we go.
Relax. We missed you guys. Okay.
I missed you. What is wrong with us having a good time? All right. We got 200 plus in here, guys. Smack that like button. Hit the sub. You guys know what's tomorrow, right? So we're going to jump right into this. Tomorrow, the New York Yankees are having their time to meet with one Juan Soto.
They were smart. They would have had us outside in front of Boris Corp. As soon as Soto would have got there, we would have just popped out dancing with the song in the background.
If they want to pay me, I'll fly out there and I'll just sit outside all day and play it. I got no problem at all with doing that. But you know, it's kind of sad to play that song, man. I just can't imagine not doing that next year. Even if I change the song up, I just can't imagine not having Juan Soto on the Yankees, man. And tomorrow's a big day.
It's crazy, right? Because
it's very crazy.
Even if he does resign, do you still play that song?
You know, it's one of those things that have become so classic that I'm like, maybe you have to keep playing it. I almost feel like you don't really go anywhere else.
I feel like it's hard. I feel like you keep it.
Maybe. We'll see. Well,
let's see. You never know.
Hey, look, let's hope that's the toughest decision we have to make. Oh, that would be great. If that's the toughest decision we have to make, things are going very, very good. We're in amazing shape.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it, man. Hal Steinbrenner, Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone are heading out tomorrow to beautiful California to meet with one Juan Soto. We got some super dupers.
Thank you for being a friend.
Gahabagoo. Beast Mode says, I feel we're going to fumble the Soto free agency. What's the plus minus on Bregman signing with the Yankees, says DJ Stelio. Stelio, hold that thought for a second. I want to stick on Juan Soto here for a minute. Francis, what's the Yankees pitch tomorrow? If you're the New York Yankees, honestly, man, I think he's been there for a year. He went to the friggin' World Series. You talk about wanting to win. Well, you were 3 games away from winning a World Series. And I'd even bring up, if you heard what Dave Roberts said, if we won game 2, he believes we would have won the whole damn thing. So we're not really that far away, potentially, bringing you back, adding some pieces, more young players on the club. We're not too far away. So what is the pitch from the Yankees?
I think it's really simple. It's really simple. You don't have to be complicated. This is why, as you've said many times, trading for him was ridiculously important, because I think the biggest part of the pitch was the 2024 season. And now that that's in the books and behind us, and yeah, we didn't get the result that everybody wanted, at the end of the day, you do look back at this point, being a couple weeks removed from it, and you can start to see the successes. And Juan Soto had the best season of his career. I don't think there's anybody who's going to argue that Juan Soto had the best season of his career in the Bronx wearing the Yankee pinstripes. Juan Soto has always been a player that has rose to the occasion. He's been a player that has understood the famous, refrain from Garrett Cole, that pressure is a privilege. He's been somebody who's embraced that his entire life, from being a kid in DR to coming up with the Nationals to getting traded to the Padres and then coming across in the trade to the Yankees. He's constantly embraced that.
Facts.
This place is built for Juan Soto. But more importantly, Juan Soto has always been built for this place. He is a
Great
Yankee.
point.
He
Great
is a
point.
Yankee. You look at him. You look at the way he carries himself. You look at the way everything about him says Yankee. But there's differences there, right? We said that he brought swag. He brought a different energy. We need to pitch Juan Soto tomorrow about, yeah, maybe we're not giving him the captaincy and all that, whatever. But that doesn't mean that he can't be the leader of this new era of the Yankees. And I think that's what you pitch him on. We want to sign you. We want you here long term because we want you to be the face of the new chapter of this next chapter of the New York Yankees, this new version of the Yankees where we do have swag, where we do have energy, where we do have vibes in the clubhouse. We need that. And you bring that. And not only do you bring that, but you bring the freaking numbers. But at the end of the day, bro, we all know that the best pitch of all pitches is going to be what they actually offer. And that's going to be what really gets it done at the end of the day.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Beast Mode adds the pitch, and this is what he's talking about. The pitch should be 600 million, 12 years. So he's talking money. I mean, money is going to be the main aspect of everything. NY Sports Fan says, what kind of cupcakes will Boone take tomorrow? Hopefully ones with dollar bills in it, $100 bills in it.
I hear they're looking into dulce de leche.
Okay, little dulce de leche. Okay, I'm okay with it. Maybe those. We had a little tiramisu over there. Let me tell you something. It was rather delicious.
That's the underrated part of that.
Oh, okay. People are going to love it. I can't wait. Remember, guys, Monday, tomorrow, you got when there's not going to be an All Rise. So I'll say this again at the end, but there won't be an All Rise. There will be Soto Watch. I might go 2 hours on that one. We'll see what happens.
There you go.
But at 8 o'clock, there will indeed be NYYU on site, Milano Market. You're going to love it. DJ Steele says, Crackle's the protagonist to the game of scones. I feel like I've heard him say game of scones a couple of times regarding Crackle Nuts. He's regurgitating here. You're regurgitating, brother.
It's happening.
He's regurgitating. I'm pretty sure I've heard that one before, Steels. I need some new material over here. This was Kill Tony. I'd have to roast him.
He's got to buy a new book.
You got to buy a new book. You got to buy a new book. I want to see DJ Steels go on Kill Tony. That would be great. That would be great. Steels, can we get you to go to Kill Tony, get 1 good minute? That would be amazing. Danny, my guy, says, salute P and Francis. I don't want to hear about no other free agent. Soto or bust. Last season, we saw what the Yankees and Soto can do. No, you're right about that, and I'll continue on where Francis was. I think Francis said it best. I mean, look, he is made for New York. You know, he is made to be a New York Yankee. It works in every aspect of his game. He got something that the Yankees desperately need more of for years and years to come. And the one thing I also like about Soto is Juan Soto could play the villain role very well. The Yankees need that again. Aaron Judge, he just can't be the villain, man. And that's not a knock on him. He's very likable. Other teams see Soto go off. He does this. He talks.
Yep.
Other teams don't like that, right? And
showboats
you need
a little bit.
that. He showboats a little bit. I mean, look, you need that on your team. Having a villain that other teams do not like, it means something. And Soto also brings that aspect to it. But as Francis said before, let's not kid ourselves here. This is all going to come down to money. Chris Silva, what's up, my brother? How you doing, fam?
What's good, Chris?
Brother, it all comes down to money, man. It all comes down to money. We all know that. And look, the big competition, the stiff competition. Oski, what up, my brother? It all comes down to the Yankees. In my opinion, I know we've heard things about Boston. We've heard about Toronto. This team that
every Yankee rival available.
Facts, 100%, man. And
we heard about Tampa Bay, bro.
We heard about Tampa Bay, who don't even got a home ballpark right now. I mean, come on, are we being serious over here?
You imagine, like, how do you pitch Juan Soto and you're playing at the Yankees? You're playing at the Yankees spring training / minor league complex next year,
and we're giving the Yankees $15 million to do so. Well, what are we?
So that they can pay you. You might as well just make it payable to Juan Soto.
You know, I tell you this. For them to even have balls to maybe have a conversation, hey, I tip my cap to him. Good for you. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot, right. Bro.
Hey, it's one of those things where you kind of have to, right? You got to.
That's like Danny DeVito going up to Hal Berry in a club and shooting his shot. You probably got no damn chance, but hey, I salute you for trying.
You never know. Maybe that night she was looking for a shorter guy. You never know.
Maybe you never know. A little bald head on top. You know, hey, short bald head. Hey, yo, you never know.
Like that one episode of Seinfeld when George he runs into the woman who wants a bald-headed, short, stocky guy.
Every characteristic of him. Speaking of Seinfeld, we got a little salute tribute. During
look at that.
During you didn't even think about it, did you? Look at that. Beautifully segmented into there.
During
we
the
got
that, bro.
During the on-site, we got that. But
I can't wait for you guys to see it.
It's amazing, guys. It's a bit of a shorter one. I think it's like 45 minutes, but it's 45 minutes of nonstop fun and a lot of delicious food. So you'll see what we're talking about. Irish Rover says, make Soto an offer he can't refuse. Pay the man. Well, there's going to be, when it comes to money, there'll be one team that is certainly going to be in that contention, folks. And that is who we've always known from the beginning, the New York Mets. The Mets are hopeful about signing Juan Soto after their positive meeting on Monday. Now, the funny thing I keep hearing about, oh my God, this meeting was unbelievable. Folks, the people involved with all of this stuff, they're never going to come out and be like, hey, this meeting was horrible, man. I mean, this was a bad meeting. I mean, he had an unbelievable meeting, way better than expected with the Boston Red Sox. Great presentation by the Blue Jays. Oh, man, the Mets are the front runners after this meeting. This is the type of shit that we hear all offseason every year. As DJ Steele says, Crackle's favorite video game is Fork Knife. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That was I.
I like that one. That's a good one. Steels, you just redeemed yourself.
Good comeback.
I still want to see you go and kill Tony, though, but that was friggin' awesome. I like that one a lot. 300 plus in it, guys. Hit that like button. Francis, all these reports are coming out now. Carlos Bayorga said 660 is going to be offered by the New York Mets. I was just in New York with you. You were actually away a couple of days, so we didn't get a chance to hang out. But I was texting you as I, got information on what was happening with Soto, what it was. And it's spot on to exactly what is coming out now.
Yeah.
It's literally spot on. That the Mets are going to offer probably what I was told was in the 650 range is where the Mets may end up. Now, it's not a shock. I think from the very beginning, the idea was the Mets would give more to Soto. It's going to have to see what is the ballpark range. Like, what is the difference here?
How much
are we
more?
talking? Exactly. Are we talking 100 million? Are we talking 50? Are we talking 25? So then there was another report. I want to say it was John Heyman. It might have been Heyman. I don't want to credit the wrong person. But there was the report out there saying that the Yankees may have the highest AAV, but not as many years. Can I make what is it? Can I make an offer on my own of what would make sense for Soto?
Let's hear it.
Boris. I like the Yankees. I actually like the Yankees idea here. More so than the longest term contract, the most years. Here's why. I would call Boris and Soto's bluff. Now, at the end of the day, I do believe that Scott Boras may ask for an opt-out no matter what in his contract. Yeah. He typically does, especially year 20, age 29, age 30, 3 or 4 year. This is why
he should have an opt-out by 30. You're right.
I think definitely,
1,
right? Because 100% he's going to have an opt-out. I think that's pretty damn fair.
Yeah.
This is why I like what the Yankees are doing. Because you could sit there with Soto, and I don't know how many years, I don't know if it's going to be 10, 11, Mets maybe do 13. I don't know all that. Here's what I just want. Let me just listen to what I say here. I would sit down with Soto. I would say, look, we just missed we just missed winning a World Series. We won the pennant with you. You won the pennant with the New York Yankees. You are 26 years old when the season starts. You just turned 26. We want to have you for multiple years with the prime years of you, Judge, Garrett Cole, and we'll continue to build around what we have now. I don't want to play the comparison game with the New York Mets. We could talk about that later because I do believe there are fair comparisons of where the Yankees just are much better. And I people may say, Pete, come on. Me and Francis will talk about that. Not talking about last year.
Yeah.
Talking about what the structures of the team look like right now.
Yeah.
If I'm Cashman and I'm not even going to, if I'm Hal Steinbrenner, I would simply say this. You deserve to be the highest paid player in Major League Baseball. We are very, very willing to make sure that annual value-wise, you will be. We know there's going to be an opt-out. We know within 3 or 4 years, we're probably going to be right here doing this again if everything goes well. We want to make you the richest player annual value-wise in Major League Baseball. That is guaranteed we will do that no matter what. I'd want this deal signed soon, though. I wouldn't want to wait. I wouldn't want to wait too long. I would give him that. Now, if his idea is I want the biggest contract ever, well, if it's more that than even winning, then I do believe maybe we have a little bit of a problem. But
for sure.
I want to make you the highest paid player for the next multiple years, and that is it. Forget anything else. And once you have that opt out, we'll revisit this again, and maybe just maybe then other contracts are off the. Because think about this: in 3 years, Aaron Judge is what, 36? Stanton's done. He got a DH spot open. There's a lot of money off the Yankees books and a lot of young players coming up that the Yankees payroll is going to drop quite a bit. If that's the case, you're in even a better position at that point to negotiate with us. I would say it just like that. You'd be in a better position then if you play at the level we know you could play at. We can revisit that then, but we want to make you the richest player in baseball, AAV-wise, over the next couple of years. And I'm guaranteeing that over the next 3 or 4 until that opt-out. Every year, and then you opt out, whatever, we relook at that then. But I think that is probably the route the Yankees should take. And that was reported, and I believe that is probably the best way the Yankees could go about this.
I think when I hear this, about the highest AAV and whatever, to me that sounds like where 1000% where the Yankees begin, and it seems like a very Yankee way to begin these negotiations. Look like we heard that during the year there was an offer made. We know more or less around where that offer was
In
and
the
now
mid
we're also
fives. My understanding is
so now we're hearing that the Mets are possibly going to be around 650 range, stuff like that. So we know that offer, if that's where the Mets are going to be, that's a significant amount more than where the Yankees were at during the season. But welcome to the jungle. But since then, we've had the finish of the season, right? Juan Soto finishing with career highs and home runs and other numbers, having one of the best seasons, if not the best season of his career. We had a great playoff run. I mean, just a playoff moment after playoff moment was phenomenal there. Helped bring the team back to the World Series for the first time in 15 years. All these things happened post that offer. And then you look at this. And then you look at this. Are you guys
murder?
Are you looking at this? That's a whole lot of red. And I ain't talking about Playboi Carti's album. I'm talking about Juan Soto's Savant page is a serial killer's page. Just look at it.
Murder?
Get it. So when I see this, bro, when I see that, I'm like, okay, it's very well possible, right? That what you're saying, this is where the Yankees start, because this has been common for the Yankees in terms of how they negotiate.
Right.
I know that the fans are like, no, you got to go out there. You got to beat the Mets offer. You got to whatever. The Yankees don't move that way. And the Yankees don't, and they never have, and they probably never will under this current regime. They just won't.
It's not George.
It's right, because they feel like, we're the Yankees and what we do things differently now, whatever. Right. Hal talks about how it's a business and, you have to understand that. All right, we get all that. But I do feel like Hal Steinbrenner has the understanding that Juan Soto needs to be a Yankee. I don't think he gets on a private jet and flies 6 hours across the country if he's just going to sit there and regurgitate the same offer that he had in the middle of the season.
Right. Something's going to be up. They're definitely
be
up something, no doubt about it.
They're ready. They know. And here's the thing. The fact that they are going last, right? I saw some people with nerves about that. Like, oh, but you're going to let Cohen and them wine and dine him before you even get in, and you're going to let him talk to whatever. That's a leg up, because the Yankees are walking in tomorrow with all the information that they need.
Correct.
They know tomorrow.
They've had him for a year. That's why it was so important trading for him.
But on top, I'm not just that, bro. I mean, we know him. We know him better than any of the suitors who have spoken to him.
Of course,
we know him better than Boston. We know him better than Toronto. We know him better than the Mets. But on top of that, we're going into the meeting tomorrow. We're already having information about, okay, like we may not know the numbers, you and I, but It's Brian Cashman's job to know, okay, this is where Toronto's at more or less. This is where Boston's at more or less. And this is where Steve Cohen's at more or less.
Right.
So they're going in tomorrow with that. They have, it's all in front of them. It literally is right in front of them. All the numbers, all the info, everything. So if you're walking in tomorrow with all that information, to me, it's simple. If you walk in, if you sit in that meeting, it's because you want the player. It's Soto's script. He stuck to his script, which I don't know if you heard, but it was actually like admitted now that he was following a script.
Oh, I've known that for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we've been saying it, but I don't know if people thought like, oh no, it's not true. No.
I've been saying it on here that, you know, that's why people were, oh my God, I can't believe he didn't sound excited. Folks, the guy, and I don't mean this in a bad way of Scott Boras, but Scott Boras is so good at his job. He coaches these guys on what to say. They're coached.
Gives him a
on
script.
what to say. It's scripted.
It's scripted. Literally, guys. That whole press conference after Game 5, he had a script. And people were reading into every little thing, bro. He had a script. Like, it wasn't for anybody to read it. He said, I'm available to all 30 teams. If you think that wasn't a Scott Boras line, I'm telling you right now.
100%.
Once Soto knows where he wants to be, even if right now he met with 4 teams, 5 teams, I'm going to go out on a ledge and tell you right now, Juan Soto knows the one team that he wants to play for the rest of his career. He knows. He knows who it is. The idea is making sure that we don't fucking know.
That's right.
Until he signs on the dotted line, he can't give any inch, anything or whatever. I personally tend to think that it's with the Yankees.
Yeah.
But I also think that if the Yankees don't come within a representative offer of what the Mets are going to, I don't think he has a problem going across town.
Not at all. Not at all. And that's definitely also one of the things I want to talk about. As Rich Squire says, 5 years, 320. No, I don't think it would be something like that. Beast Mode says, what would NYY give him a deadline? Because the Yankees can't wait. I think every team will give him a deadline, to be honest with you. And look, here's the other deal. I'm pretty sure Scott Boras wants this to go pretty smoothly. I don't think Scott Boras. I think Scott wants this to be done pretty quickly. I don't think Soto's one of these guys that is going to hold up until January. I don't see that being the case at all. I think the latest Soto signs is about around the same time he was traded. Earliest December 6th, first week, maybe into the second week. I don't see this going into January. It just doesn't make sense for this to go into January. You're going to have money on the table and you decide on where you want to go. This free agency is not hard. It's just whatever offer he really likes. Now, if it did come down to the comparisons part, and I almost, maybe there's a Mets fan in here that wants to, have fun and do a little back and forth here, but I look at the Yankees and the Mets and I look at those teams right now. I'm sorry, but I would be very cautious about signing a long-term deal with the Mets right now. And this is no knock on the New York Mets. This is no knock on, the players they currently have on their team. But I do want to make some points here. I'm not saying the Yankees are perfect. DJ Steele says, how much does Boras make with Soto signing? Oh, a shit ton. He probably gets a good what? Boras is so good. He gets a decent chunk. I got to assume his percentage is definitely a lot higher. It got to be around 10, 11, 12. I know. Got to be around that percentage for a guy like Scott Boras.
The rules changed a little while ago. They think it's like, it sounds crazy, but they're like only allowed to charge up to 5% of the contract.
Is it?
With Major League Baseball. Now for endorsements and stuff like that, I don't know. That could be more completely different.
Yeah. So he's making his money. He's getting his money. Yeah. So
Scott Boras gets his money.
Yeah, he's definitely getting his money. But when it comes to, no, I have not got, I see people say this so much. I don't have a new camera. I adjusted the settings on the camera. I never did it before. Genius Pete, dumbass Pete. I don't have a new camera. It's not new at all. It's the same exact camera. But
you have to do that.
Yeah, I had no idea about the adjustments. I went to an automatic setting and it looks unbelievable. But, I don't want to make this a Mets Yankees back and forth thing, but look, I think I could be, if I'm a guy like, if Brian Cashman is going to do anything in that meeting, to me, I would be like, if it does come to those questions of what's the future look like with both of those teams, I think I'd be very easily open to talk about it. I would sit there and go, well, under our current team, we have Cole, Rodon, Louis Hill, who has just been nominated for Rookie of the Year, Clark Schmidt, Nestor
Lux.
Quartet. We got all those things there already. Marcus Stroman, who you could still add in there. He's still a starting pitcher. We have a closer now that is under contract. You would be with the best offensive duo that this game has arguably ever seen for the foreseeable future.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but, and again, maybe there's a Mets fan is like, Pete, you're wrong. Who's in the Mets rotation currently?
They don't have a rotation currently. They did amazing work in the 2024 season with a makeshift rotation that David Stearns, credit to him, was able to put together on the fly last offseason. With the Sean Manaea signing, Luis Severino, Quintana, guys like that. They made it work. But
who is in there? Do you even know who is currently under contract in their rotation?
Currently under
I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah, you could. I know.
Let me pull it up. I want to play it fair.
Manaea is the free agent.
That's what I was thinking, right?
I think Quintana also is. I'm not sure.
Let me look at the depth chart. Let me pull up the depth chart real quick. We've got a super chat here from Jeff J. Yo, my family's on, and I didn't even know. Is people not getting notifications of our stuff? I don't think they are. YouTube, you got to fix this shit, man, because I hear this a lot. I don't know what you're doing to us. We curse every now and then. Oh, my God, they block us from certain areas. Please, grow up. Soto will give us a small discount, but they have to come with a plan. Boris is 5% of the contract. Appreciate that, Jeff. Thank you, my guy. Kyle Malay. Soto will be a Yankee. They can't let him go. Malay, I'm there with you, man. Holy shit, Francis. Hold on, let me make this big. So I just went to the New York Mets depth chart. You ready for this? I'm going to put it on the big screen. Here's their rotation. The guy on top, that's Kodai Senga. Make this bigger so people could. That's the rotation right now. Matter of fact, if I'm Brian Cashman, I'd pull this up and I would literally just drop it in front of him. And I would say, if there really is going to be a conversation here, again, Mets fans, I am not knocking your hustle. I am not knocking your team's hustle at all. Not at all.
They
got money. They do got money. But let me ask you something now. They got money. I understand that. But if you sign 11, 12 years, yeah, you're probably going to have the opt-out after 3 or 4. Still, I understand that. But, bro, who are you winning with? Pete Alonso, you can't partner with him. He's gone.
You don't know. Exactly. You don't know. They'll get a first baseman, you assume. Yeah. But right now.
Lindor is awesome. Frankie's awesome. I love Frankie Lindor. Great player.
Phenomenal. One of the best. He's one of the best players in baseball right now, and he will be going forward. But here's the thing that people keep people keep like forgetting in this negotiation, because they bring up oh shit, Ronnie was the chat.
My brother Ronnie says, laugh my ass off. I was about to say Pete upgraded the cam, but anyways, Soto leaving the Yanks should be disastrous. Not really moved by this year's free agent class of position players. I'm right there with you, man. And yeah, Ronnie, I'm 100% there with you, man. Soto's the move, guys. 400 plus in here. Smack that like, hit that sub.
So when I look at the Mets, right? You look at what they have currently. They have Francisco Lindor. Frankie Lindor is phenomenal. He's 31. He's around the same age as Judge. I think Judge's 32. He's 31. So him and Judge are like same class, right? I think sometimes people speak about Lindor like he's way younger than Aaron Judge. He's not. It's just 1 year. So if you're Soto, whoever you sign with, both teams, your running mate is around the same age, right? Correct. Which leaves Soto around 5-6 years younger than who his running mate is, meaning that he has about 3 or 4 seasons to look forward to, which oddly enough will be the 3 to 4 seasons before the opt-out with that running mate.
Correct.
Aside from that, right, the Mets have guys who, took steps forward this year. You have Mark Vientos, who was phenomenal. He was really good for them. Yep. They got to see a glimpse of Luis Angel Acuna, who was also pretty solid for them. Pete Alonso is Pete Alonso. You know what he's been for the Mets, but he's a free agent, right? And
they got Alvarez there.
Right, you got Francisco Alvarez, the catcher, also pretty solid. Then you got, there's some holes there, right? There's some things that need to be filled. And again, they have the money to do it. But at the position that they're in right now, Soto has to commit to that now before it's done. And that's, I think,
exactly.
that's where it gets
that's what I'm, yes.
Because if you're the Mets, you're not just selling Soto on money, because I get people keep talking about like it's just the wallet, right? And me and Peter dealing with this shit since last offseason. I mean, the moment the Yankees traded for him, not all Mets fans, because we got some that we fuck with. Shout out my boy Keith, Shane. Those are my guys. They get ball. They know ball. But then there's a lot of clowns on the other side of it, where last year we traded for Soto and immediately they're like, enjoy him for 1 year because he's ours next year because Steve Cohen's wallet. And it's not just going to be about the wallet, though, because the offers will, I promise you, wherever the Mets go, the Yankees won't be that far behind. All right. It's not going to be that far. It's going to also have to do with what you're offering. And right now you're selling Soto on dreams and ideas, but it's not done. Whereas with the Yankees, what they have in their favor is that they showed he played it. He's been here. He knows the vibe in the clubhouse. He knows Jazz Chisholm is here. Okay. He knows Aaron Judge is here. He knows Giancarlo performs in October and is going to be here. He knows they have an ace already. He knows they have Rodon. He knows they have Luis Gil coming. They got Clark Schmidt. He knows that. He played with those guys. He vibed with those guys. I mean, if you guys heard what Luke Weaver said about him on the show podcast, this guy really, really, really made a name for himself in that Yankee clubhouse. They love him.
Soto
absolutely love him. I mean, Weaver was damn near emotional talking about how Juan Soto like made him feel, like the compliments that he gave him and what that meant for him coming from Soto. Like, that's where the Yankees operate from a position of strength. It's like, we don't necessarily have to sell you on dreams and ideas. We just played in the World Series with you a couple weeks ago.
Man, you lived it. I mean, the 1 year of you playing here, mind you, we also traded a potential Cy Young candidate for you. So that shows the value of what we're willing to do to get you. And in that 1 year of us taking that risk, it just about paid off in the biggest way. We lost. I get it. A couple of things happened differently. Who knows what happens? But that is the game of baseball that you've been playing your whole life. You understand that better than anybody does. But I'm right there with you, man. I think it's a little bit more of a tough sell because the Mets do. And look, an honest Mets fan would admit this, and it's not a knock on the Mets in general. But again, I could pull up the depth chart of what the team currently is. There is a lot of work to be done. I'm not saying that the Yankees don't have to add. They do. I agree 100% that the Yankees have work to do. Somebody in the chat just said, so Austin Wells, Volpe, Jazz, and Judge are championship core. They just went to the World Series. I'm not saying they are. They just went to the World Series. What are you talking about? They were just 3 games away from winning a World Series. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter who's on the team. That's all that matters.
But bro, when you talk about winning, right, and how important that is, he said it out of his mouth that winning is important, right?
Yes.
Here's another part of it that has nothing to do with the Mets. This is not their fault, right? But this is just the way that things are. This has nothing to do with them. There's nothing Steve Cohen can do about this. The Mets are in the National League.
That was the next thing I'm bringing up.
The Mets are in the National League. That's not Steve Cohen's fault. Yep. That's not Cohen's fault. That's not Mendy's fault. That's
somebody just said in the chat too. Exactly right.
That's not their fault, but it's a fact. And if you're talking about winning, you want to win. Okay, you want the best chance to win. Right now, whether you look at the Yankees and say, well, they got to the World Series, they played very bad fundamentally, they didn't show, they didn't win. You could say whatever you want, but you saw that road that they had to the World Series. That those American League Central teams aren't going anywhere, and the Yankees have a track record of dominating the American League Central. The Astros are on the verge of losing Alex Bregman. Okay, the Astros, as we know them, might be no more.
The Yankees could very well be the beast of the American League for a long time.
The Baltimore Orioles, they're great in the regular season. They have yet to do it in October, and they're about to lose Corbin Burns. We don't know what they're going to look. The Yankees are in a position that if they make this offseason a big offseason, you retain Soto, you tinker a couple other things, they can set themselves up to dominate the American League for the next 2-3 years easily.
Easy.
And he knows that. Why? Because he just wore the jersey and felt it, bro. He went on the playoff run with us. And the whole time he was doing that, you think he wasn't watching the games in the National League? It was a dogfight. You can sign with San Diego. Who says you're going to get past the Dodgers? You can sign with the Mets. Who says you're going to get past the Dodgers? You can sign with the Dodgers. Who says you're going to get past San Diego? Who says and let's not forget the Philadelphia Phillies. The
Phillies, that's right.
The National League is chock full of
Atlanta Braves
teams. There's no guarantee.
And you're talking about those teams in their own division.
bro.
We haven't even mentioned
right.
the Padres. I mean, you got a team like the Padres that are going in next year now with all of these guys that they added to their club.
Atlanta, bro. I didn't even mention Atlanta. Atlanta's not going anywhere. Do people?
That's right.
See one bad season and think that Atlanta's done? I hope not.
No, Braves always come back. But we got a couple of super chats here, and then I do want to address one more thing there about the Mets. And actually, I think one of the super chats bring it up, so I'll address it then. Perry says, it's been a while, Pete. I was talking to my dad, whose favorite Yankee all time is Bobby Mercer. Badly wants Willie Adames and move Volpe to second base. Do you think that plus Soto? Look, I would love Willie Adames. I think the Mets would love Willie Adames. I think a lot of teams out there would love Willie Adames. He is a very, very underrated player. I think just because he plays on with the Brewers, but he's a very, very good player. I would be excited to have him. Do I think it happens? I don't think anything happens until the Soto situation is figured out. And then maybe, who knows what route the Yankees take. It'd be very interesting. Kyle Malay says, Soto, 14 years, $1 billion with a $300 million deferred. That way he said, just kidding, that contract. Thank you for saying just kidding, Kyle Malay, because I was about to be like, what the frig are you talking about, bro? Eric, here's a Mets fan. Eric says, Pete, the Mets can sign Soto for $50 million a year, Alonso for $30 million a year, Burns for $30 million a year, $190 million off the books. Okay, so let me raise my hand real quick, and this is what I'm talking about. I am not sitting, nor is Francis. None of us are sitting here saying the Mets cannot do none of that. But the question about it is they still have to accomplish that. They're not going to accomplish that before Soto. That's what we're saying. The Yankees can lay down a club right now and go, these guys are already here. If I'm Soto, my answer is, but if you lock me into this deal, what else are we able to do? That's my question. And I hope the Yankees have a list of a plan A, plan B, plan C that they could literally just say, this is our hope of what our club looks like next year. That's what they should be able to do.
That's so fucking important, bro. I don't want that point to get lost. To me, I don't know, and I don't have this information, and I know Pete does. It's not information that he had. This is just coming from Pete's head. But he's spot on when he says that at some point, if we know Juan Soto the way we know him to be, that question is coming up tomorrow.
No doubt about it.
What is your plan after me? Like, okay, say I sign with you, right? And I'm rolling. It's me and Judge. What's the plan? Because we got some work to do. I love our guys. I love our clubhouse. I love this guy. I love that guy. But you know, and I know, we got some shit to figure out. To me, that's the biggest part of the meeting. That's the biggest part of the sit down. It's not so much the money, and everybody makes this big thing about money. When you're Juan Soto, you know the money's going to be there. It's
going to be there. That's the least of his problem. Trust me. He knows the money's going to be there.
They don't even talk money at these meetings, which is so crazy that people get so caught up in, oh, he met with this one, and then these fake offers come out. Guys, they don't talk money at these meetings. Offer sheets and all that stuff is sent like via email after the fact.
Yes. Yeah.
For the Yankees, the most important thing is that point right there that Pete just said. That's the most important thing. When Soto asks you, okay, so say I commit, what's the next step? That's gonna be the key. That's make or break. That's make or break.
Because like we both said, he knows the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Trust me, these guys all talk. There was guys they had problems with. There was certain players, certain moves they didn't like. That's just the nature of the beast. He's a free agent now, so he can say whatever the hell he wants. The Yankees may not like it, but he can say whatever the hell he wants right now. He goes, I want that, I want this fixed, I want that fixed, or I don't like the way this went. I know we need help here. If you guys do lock me in, you're already at a pretty high area when it comes to your money. As the Mets fans in here said, we're losing $190 million. We can add a lot. Understandable. The Yankees in another way really can. But would they? And that's the main thing for me, because sometimes I look at this as the way I would see it. And again, I've never been involved in any meetings like this with this amount of money or nothing like that. But I see it as a baseball. What is the baseball value here? And my main question to the Yankees is, we're not going to bring me back and run out the same club, are we? Right. Like, Glaber doesn't come back, but he hits so good in the postseason. Who plays second base? Like, who is what's the whole balancing act of the club moving forward? Because Francis, I would pull this up right here. There's the little thing I made here.
Yeah.
You got open positions here. You know, I threw Jason Dominguez in center field. We'll talk a little about Dominguez here momentarily, but if Soto comes back, you could look around and go, well, we have our outfield. We have our DH. But now the infield becomes questions. You don't got a right side of the infield. There's no second baseman. There's no first baseman. What is your guys' thoughts, Yankees? Who's the names out there? Are there trades you're looking like? I need to know that before I sign this deal. I really need to know what your plan is, the offseason plan besides me.
Here's my thing, because I saw someone in the chat say, "Oh, that Cohen is the owner that they trust more to add at this stage in the game." Here's my thing, all right, and it's not anything, it's whatever, but it's like I feel like people really, really, really have to like come to reality. When has Hal Steinbrenner not spent on the Yankees payroll?
Yeah, I always correct people on that. He gets a bad rap for he's cheap. I'm sorry, he's not.
That's a lazy argument that Steinbrenner is cheap, that he doesn't spend, that he doesn't add. If you argue, you can argue about what they add and how they do it, but you cannot argue that they do not do that, because they do. Every offseason, we're a little spoiled as Yankees fans, but every offseason we have something to freaking talk about. Literally, every winter we have something to talk about. There's teams that go 5-6 straight winters with zero to talk about. Nothing traded, nothing bought, nothing signed, nothing. The Yankees are every winter, bro. We're talking about something. Last winter they traded for Soto. They sent 6 guys to San Diego for Soto. Like, for people to—
And by the way, Hal Steinbrenner was the one to make the final call and go, no, add King, add him to it. Got to get this done.
Bro, how do we sit here now and say, well, I don't know if I trust Hal to whatever? Bro, of course. Listen, you could call me ignorant, you can call me whatever. I 1000% trust Hal to continue adding. People are looking again at the payroll as if this is just next year, 2025 payroll as the Yankees payroll from now until the end of time. This is 1 year that the Yankees are about to carry a bloated payroll. 1 year. After 2025. And
mind you, they'll make that money back 100, tenfold.
Pete, they made some of it back in 2024.
Easy, 100%.
Guys, okay, so say they sign Soto and then they add more, whatever, and they go. People are saying, okay, right now the word is we're not seeing how, comfortable with going up to $314 million and paying the Cohen tax or whatever. Okay, maybe he doesn't. There's a representative team that you can feel at 301, 302. There's a representative team that you could feel at 301, but here's the deal. After this season, the payroll continues to decrease year after year after year. It goes down, even with Judge, even with Soto, even with Cole, even with Rodon, even with all the payroll keeps going down. When you sign a player like Juan Soto, you're not just thinking of the first year of the contract, guys.
That's right.
You're not just looking at the first year of the contract. You're looking at the contract over time. Can we sustain this over time? And if you look at the Mets payroll over time and you look at the Yankees payroll over time, 2-3 years from now, we're at the same shit.
Correct. There's not an overly major difference there.
No.
NY Sports Fan 12 says Soto comes back, you put him in left field so Judge can play right field. Well, that, and thank you to all the new subs. We already got over 20 subs this episode, so thank you guys. But getting right into the outfield conversation, if/when Soto returns to the Yankees, yeah, you better believe your ass I'm confident, okay? I'm still going to be confident. And mind you, people that I get information from are trying to tell me not to be confident because he's probably going elsewhere. So Francis can confirm that for you guys. People that I have a major respect for.
People have told us not to be confident.
Basically, yeah. He's basically gone, guys. So, it's to calm your confidence down a little bit. So we're not living that life. As I said to the world, I'm going down with the ship, but it'll be the same thing for me. You guys know my love for Soto. My love for Soto was out there. Everybody knows it. I absolutely love the guy for years and years. But I want to talk about the outfield. If Soto were to return / when Soto returns, the New York Yankees will have to make an idea here, something to figure out of what they would have to do, what type of move they would make, what would their outfield look like. Now, if you guys saw the list I pulled up before, showed the outfielders, open positions, and all that, I think the easy thing to do there is Aaron Judge becomes your regular left fielder. You leave him in left field, let him learn that position. He's a better defender than Soto is. Mind you, he just played center field. He just played center field all year. Put him in left field. And I don't want to hear this bullshit from Aaron Judge. I want to play center. No. No. You don't make that choice. Just say no. This is about the team. My brother, don't let me go there with you. Don't let me say what I would have to say if you keep pushing the issue. Because if I gotta look at my captain and go, you missing a fly ball in center field may have cost us the whole year. Don't let me have to say that, because I love Aaron Judge. And anybody could miss a ball. We know that.
Of course.
But we got to put you in left field.
Ball. We know that.
Dominguez could have missed it. People expected Dominguez to probably miss something if he played. But I don't want to be that guy. Judge, I want you to learn left field. Soto, you stay in right field. Now the question becomes this. Do the Yankees believe enough in Jason Dominguez to play center field? Or do they believe more in Jones, and they're going to wait until he's ready and maybe ship off Jason Dominguez? All of a sudden now, I've been talking about this for months. I've been talking about this since July. And trust me, Los, I don't know if Los is in here. He'll probably want to kill me. I told him this months ago. I have a feeling the Yankees are going to trade Jason Dominguez. He goes, no, please don't say that. I had this feeling for a while, but I also have heard recently that it's legit. And that doesn't mean that the Yankees are going to move him. It just means that he could very well be on the table for the right player. Here's my concern. Would the Yankees move Jason Dominguez for a center fielder that maybe has some control? Is that something you can see the Yankees actually looking to do? Maybe a starting pitcher, maybe a couple of guys. But I'm going to be the first person to say this right now. If I had to choose today, Dominguez or Jones, I'm taking Dominguez all friggin' day. All day. Anybody out there that has this mindset and this thought process that this isn't a good player because he missed a fly ball and he hit 58 at-bats, the kid is 21 years old, came off of injury. Even his outs this year were absolutely scorched. I don't know what the Yankees do to people, the beat writers and everybody else, that make Yankee fans forget that this is one of the best prospects in baseball. And all of a sudden now, you know what he is? He's a bust. He can't catch a ball anyway. Why do you need him? It's insane. I had somebody today tell me he's a DH.
Fucking jokes. They don't know
DH.
But somebody who says he's a DH doesn't know what they're talking about. They just don't. This is a kid who's come up playing center field. He's not a left fielder is what he's not. He's not a left fielder in Yankee Stadium with the size of that left field on short notice, not, having the experience doing that. Yeah, he's not. I bet if you gave him a couple fucking years, yeah, he'd be a representative left fielder, but maybe we don't have that time. We're in a championship window right now. Here's the thing. If we are in that championship window, which we all know we are, why don't you play the kid where he's comfortable? Why don't you do
that's
that?
A thought. Wow,
why
what a thought that is.
Why don't you take your big veteran who you're giving $40 million a year, who's the captain, who's supposed to be the leader of the team, right? And who, by our understanding, from what we're told, is a very good freaking leader in the clubhouse, right? We're told the players love, everybody defers to, he's a good leader. Okay, so continue leading by moving your big ass from center field to left field.
That's right. Don't you want to
do
do what's best for the team?
I get it. Okay, at this point, last season is last season. I don't want to have the whole argument again with the Verdugo and whatever. Right now, that's history. Okay.
I can't. I gotta block out the chat here. I can't. I really can't read the chat, man. You guys, I don't know what the Yankees did to you all that made you all hate Jason Dominguez all, but it's wild. He's made of glass. When has Dominguez been injured? He's never been injured in the minor league.
He has 1 year.
This other dude just said he's a worse fielder than Soto is. What are you guys talking about?
No, he's a way better fielder than Soto is, and we know what he's not. What he's not that Soto is the hitter that Soto is. But Pete, this is what the Yankees media machine is able to do. They are able to twist and change narratives at the drop of a hat, and people believe it.
But Spencer Jones striking out 40% of the year. Many of you weren't here saying trade Dominguez because you want to keep him. Why? What is it? What am I missing?
Because that's what they're told to think. We're here to tell you guys the things the way that they are. And the way that things are, Jason Dominguez had 2 injuries this year, not difficult, not easy injuries to come back from. Okay, that oblique shit, that's not something that's easy to come back. We saw Judge go through that, okay? It's not easy. He had freaking Tommy John. On his freaking, he came up, killed, and then had to freaking go because he had to. This kid had a rough year, right? It was a very difficult year. He's also very freaking young. very freaking young. We
He's
have
21 years old. He came up at 20.
He has not even scratched the surface yet. Okay, I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying this because I think anything I say is going to change what the Yankees are going to do. I'm in the same ship as Pete here. I don't know if I'm like as convicted as Pete is that they're going to trade him, but I'm leaning that way because the writing seems like it's on the wall.
And that's the other thing, right? That's the other thing right there is the writing does feel like it is on the wall with Dominguez.
Just look at how they handled them, and look at
no team, and that's the other thing too. Let's be honest here. There is no team in Major League Baseball that would treat their top prospect that way. And I'm not saying, oh, what do you expect the Yankees? It's not about what the Yankees have to do for him. It's the fact of the matter is, would you see any team actually do that? They call up their top prospect. He doesn't even play. The position he could very well play is the worst hitting outfielder in baseball at the time. And the Yankees were like, yeah, nah, man, we can't play him over him. To the point, you want to hear the craziest point? Brian Cashman didn't have to say nothing. Brian Cashman said, we're a better team with Alex Verdugo.
And people believed it. I mean, look, my brother, put it like this. People act like we don't see it. People act like they don't know what we're asking for. Look at how they treated Volpe. Look at how the Yankees treated Volpe. When they called up, that's how you treat the top prospect that you truly believe in, that you think is a big part of your future. That's the way the Yankees handle Volpe. That's how you do it. Look at how Baltimore handled Jackson Holiday. Holiday came up and struggled. Did you see him? Treat him like that down the street? No.
They called him back up and he played every day again.
Exactly. We're not talking about, oh, no, we want him to be white glove. No, just if he's the top prospect and you believe in him and he's a part of your future, treat him like you did Volpe. But they didn't treat him like he did Volpe. He didn't get 50% of what Volpe got.
No. And for anybody out there that is literally saying he's been injury prone, you don't know what you're talking. I'm sorry, you have no idea what you're talking about. 2022, 530 plate appearances. 2023, 544 plate appearances. Last year, coming back from Tommy John surgery, still had 250 plate appearances. And for anybody saying, oh, the guy can't hit, he can't do this, he can't do that. I mean, come on, man. Like, you're just not making sense. Jason Dominguez last year at 21 years old, mind you, that's one of the youngest players in AAA, hit 309 with an 848 OPS. Even his horrible time in the majors, 50-something at-bats, he had a 313 on-base percentage. He's also extremely patient. He walks. He has great speed. And this other guy was telling me the guy doesn't have value. Are you nuts? He doesn't have value.
Okay. All right.
Let me tell you something about his value. If any value was lost, it's the Yankees' fault that value was lost, not the players.
Exactly.
It's because if I'm a team trading for him, I would sit there and go, hey, look, I'm sorry, but you got to add more than Jason Dominguez. Well, why do you got to add more than Jason? You guys didn't even want to start him. Why are we going to start him? You guys didn't want to play the guy. I'm sorry, but you got to add more to this deal. The Yankees probably shot themselves in the foot a bit.
That's the problem. That's the only problem right there. If you look at in terms of what has happened to Jason Dominguez's value, it's the way that the Yankees handled them this season and down the stretch that will have a lot of teams look and say, well, I don't know. Maybe they see something that we should probably be seeing. But you look at the player overall, if Jason Dominguez is made available on the open market this offseason, there's going to be offers.
No question about it. No question about it. There'll be suitors, no doubt. No doubt about it. There'll be suitors. Oh, Jira? That's what we want. That's what we want, damn it.
That's what the people want.
We demand it. We demand it, damn it.
I'm telling you.
We had a super chat right up here, and Danny, I'm sorry, brother, but I can't answer this one. What's the record the Yankees finish with in 2025? I don't even know who's on the team.
Yeah, we got to know the team.
I got to know the team at least to know what the hell is going on over here, but I have no clue when it comes to that, but the big stuff starts tomorrow, man. There's going to be get ready for rumors galore to be coming out. Again, my only hope is that the Yankees do something similar to what we talked about today. And that is, of course, having a plan there. And I'm not saying they don't. They probably do. I would expect they'd have a plan ready to go. But They got to have a plan ready to go. They got to be able to present to Soto why this makes the most sense. And again, if there is any questions, comparisons to other clubs, I think the Yankees got to be able to have that prepared too. And I think the best way they could do it is the way we did it today is, hey man, pull up those current rosters. Let's have a look at them together. I think we're more set than all those teams. For a lot of people in here also saying, well, the Yankees need starting pitching and need starting pitching. It's the beginning of the offseason, and the Yankees probably got better starters than everybody in baseball almost. A lot of guys have fallen off free agent-wise. The Yankees got 6 starters currently on their rotation in their roster. 6.
Did these people watch the playoffs? Like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to dunk on fans or whatever. That's not us. We don't do that here at the U, whatever. But the only thing I'm gonna ask y'all to do is, if you're saying that, just go look back at some of those games. Look at the numbers. All right, we didn't get lengthy starts from guys like Clark Schmidt or Luis Hill. Rodon got touched up here and there, whatever.
Yeah.
The bullpen was not really all that great, and somehow the Yankees were able to hold the Dodgers, arguably one of the best offenses, I think the best offense in the postseason for sure, and they held them at bay. All 5 games, they held them at bay. All 5 games. So for you to sit here and say, oh, the Yankees don't have to pitch, yes, the fuck they do. If they didn't add a starter, and we went into 2025 with Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Stroman, Cortez, Luis Hill, Clark Schmidt, I'm rolling.
Yeah, I think they could add. Don't get me wrong. If the Yankees added a starter, great. But the way we're looking at this right now is we are looking flat out on who is under contract. And you can, Mets fans and anybody else, you could talk about what we could bring. Could is the key word. That's not a guarantee. The Yankees are sitting there right now going, hey, brother, this is a guarantee of what our club is going to be. And now if we want to talk about adding, we're already talking about adding to a solid club that just went to the World Series. My thing is, for the Yankees, if you were to fumble this, based on final numbers come out, and let's say, God forbid, it's like a $40 million difference. I'll tell you this. That's when I look at it and go, how do you let that happen, though? Like, that to
40
me,
million, yeah.
You're gonna make this money back. And again, I would be shocked out my mind if there is not an opt-out included in this deal. There has to be an opt-out on year 3 or 4.
It's going to be,
no doubt about it.
He's 26. I think
that'll be 29 if it's 3.
I think he gets an opt-out after year 3 or 4.
I think it has to be 3 or 4.
Here's the thing. You know what I love mostly about that shit is that, look, if you're the Yankees, the opt-outs may seem like it's a thing for him. It's also a thing for you.
It's better for the Yankees.
If I'm the Yankees and we're talking about, hey, we know he wants an opt-out after year 3. He's going to be 29. He's 1,000% going to exercise that opt-out.
No question.
The hell do I care?
Exactly my point.
A 13, 14-year deal right now.
Because you know what the deal is, too?
$675 million. What I know, he's opting out in 3 years anyway.
Facts. And remember, by that time, if you could make an argument now if you wanted, that if he comes back, he's the man of the club, even more so than Aaron Judge after what we saw in the postseason. But I don't want to have all those conversations. But all I'm saying is, guess what, though? After 3 or 4 years, you better believe he's going to be the man of the club. That's guaranteed.
Look at the deal that Aaron Judge signed as a 30-year-old. Look at the deal that he signed as a 30-year-old, and then tell me that there's a way in the bluest of hells that Juan Soto does not opt out at age 30. He's going to do it. It's a foregone conclusion. Any deal that he signs with any team right now is essentially a 3 or 4 year deal. The man is opting out, which is why Cashman knows this. Cohen knows this. Stearns knows this. We know this. You're signing that deal right now on paper, the headlines, all that shit. It's going to be nice. Oh, they signed Soto 14, 13. But in reality, the real contract, in reality, this is not his last contract. They're negotiating it as if it's his last. It's not his last contract. His last contract will be signed at age 30. Whether he opts into the rest of his deal with the team or he goes out on the open market and gets a couple more dollars, which he can very well do because we just saw Aaron Judge do it at the same age.
I'm gonna answer these 2 super chats. Then I got a very, very fun hypothetical that I want to bring up to you.
They love the hypotheticals.
This is and again, I don't nobody going, Pete said this. No, he didn't. Hypothetical, false reality, fake world. Okay, make believe this is Pete on Twitter. It's like a fake Twitter world. Like Twitter is a fake little planet.
Hoodie Simonetti.
Hoodie Simonetti. This is Hoodie Simonetti. Okay, Simonetti comeback season. Okay, this is what it is. Go Up Academy. I'm gonna read these, then I'll get to my little fun hypothetical here to finish out the show. I have a little topic on it. Go Up Academy says another year of us under Boone's umbrella. Ella, A, please. Eric says, Pete being told by people in the know Yankees won't go over 600. Yeah, I told you that 40 minutes ago. Stop it. I told you that to open the show. What do you want me to do here? But here's the hypothetical. You guys ready for this? It's a big one, Francis. I want to hear what you got to say about this one.
See.
It's a big one right here. You ready for this, folks? Hypothetical. I'm not saying this is going to happen. Okay? Yankees miss out on Soto. Let's just play a game here. They miss out on Juan Soto. The Yankees go, oh my God. They turn into Susan Wallman. Oh no. Pete. Okay? They miss out. Soto's off to wherever the hell Soto's going to go. The Yankees are sitting back going, oh my God, we got to do something big. Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner get together.
I know.
And they go, damn, we were going to offer Juan Soto all this money, $580 million, whatever the hell it was. The Yankees call up Toronto. And they say, we'll give Dominguez, a few others. We want to strike a deal, but we got a window. And they re-sign. They trade for Vladdy Guerrero. They re-sign him long-term at first base, considering they had the money for Soto. Obviously, it's not going to cost the same thing. It'll be a lot less. Lock him in long-term. You got a future first baseman with Aaron Judge for years and years to come. I'm just throwing it out there as a fun hypothetical. I don't think there's a chance this happens. This, to me, is just fun to talk about. I want to get your thoughts on that. Because I think it's a one-year thing with Vladdy. The only way I would ever do that, if it came to that, is I need to know for sure we'd have a window to re-sign him. So it's not correct. It's not something we would do. It's a one-year thing and we sit back. No. We lock you in, Vladdy. You're here long-term with the New York Yankees. So that's just something fun that came across my mind today. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bring it up on and see what people think about it. I'll say this again one more time. I believe Soto's going to be a Yankee. I don't think we're going to get to that point. But what do you think, Francis? Would that be something you think the Yankees could almost have to think about?
Here's the fun part with this hypothetical, right?
This is the off season. Come on, it's fun.
Have a little fun. Loosen your belt. Relax. All right, relax.
We did at Milano Market.
I didn't have a choice. When y'all see the on-site, you notice Francis went in sweatpants. I knew what type of time we was.
Bro, I get fatter throughout the episode. I'm not kidding. I get fatter throughout the episode.
It was so hard to work out the next day, bro. I felt like shit. But here's the fun thing about this hypothetical, right? Is when you think about it, it's like, look, we're saying in a world where the Yankees lose out on Soto goes somewhere else. I mean, likely it's going to be Queens, right? Yeah. In my mind, for the hypothetical, he signs with the Mets. Okay. If you're the Yankees, you can say all you want. We're not reactionary. We're not this. We're not that. But that looks horrible. That looks terrible. And your team and your roster now
looks a lot worse.
Horrible. I mean, you look at it and all of a sudden it's like, how are we going to compete next season? It's like we don't have Soto. We got Judge, but I mean, outside of that, we got Jazz. I like Jazz. He's not Soto. Like, you know what I mean? So you start looking at it and it's like, okay, the Yankees would have to kind of get really freaking creative. And I could see them trying to make that deal. For whatever reason, Toronto has not been able to extend Vladdy Jr. or Bo Bichette for that matter. Right. Or Bo Bichette for that matter. Now, if you're Toronto, the chances are, right, that if you are going to go all in on one of those two guys, it's probably Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
Probably.
Agreed.
Here's where I like to play with the situation. I call them and I see which one. Hey, which one? Hey, is Vladdy your guy? Is that the guy you're excited? Okay, cool. Can we talk about Bo? Can we talk about Bo? If we can't talk about Bo, if as soon as we call, it's like, no, it's absolutely not. We're not doing that. We're not okay. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Can we talk about Vladdy? Let's talk about Vladdy and give us a 48-hour window to negotiate an extension. And if we can not negotiate that extension, we'll give you whatever the hell, we'll give you whatever you need to make that deal happen. But we need the 48-hour window to do it.
Yep.
Do I like it better than signing Soto?
No.
No. But
oh shit.
But is there a way that even though I don't like it better, the Yankees get better? Yes.
Here's first baseman. They got no first baseman in that system whatsoever.
You add a bona fide bop at first base. We know what Vladdy does. You also take him away from an AL East rival. So he's not killing us anymore. He's with us now. Okay.
Yep.
He adds the same amount of flair, bravado as kind of like Soto. He does a lot of.
He's a villain, all right.
The villain, all right. So he does that for you. Is he going to put up Soto numbers? No, but they won't be that far off. He's not going to walk as much. He's going to strike out a little bit more. The pop is going to freaking be there, and he's going to be a nightmare with people on base. Pitchers do not want to throw to him when people are on base. We know this. His AAV is not going to be near 50 either.
Yeah.
His AAV figures to be somewhere between, I'd say, 30 to 35, 36 if we're being generous, right? Maybe 37. I don't know, but it's not even 40 to me.
Can I also just add one thing to what you said about the comparison of him and Soto? I like Soto more. I think Soto's a better player.
Agreed.
But their 2024 seasons weren't too different.
But Pete, that's what I'm saying. I'm just look at the numbers. There you go.
I mean, I don't know if anybody knows this though. And remember, he doesn't have Aaron Judge protecting him.
It was a quiet career year for Vladdy Jr. this year.
It was insane, and the guy hits the ball friggin' everywhere.
Bro,
he hits the ball everywhere.
I was saying it towards the end of the year, and all of you who follow me on Twitter, you saw it because I was, when he was talking all that shit, 2023, whatever. I was getting on him. I was like, hey, I don't know what those, right? This year, he was a little bit quieter. He slimmed down, lost a lot of weight.
He did slim down. He did
very good this year. And the numbers were there. He started slow, but then he came, and you didn't hear people talking about because there were so many other stories. Ohtani, Tatis being back, Soto on the Yankees. He had, Lindor with the Mets. So many stories, so many. But so he just kind of got lost in the sauce. He had a phenomenal year though, and he did that on a Blue Jays team that was pretty much not good at playing baseball this year. So, which that point that you made, that caveat, putting that in front of Aaron Judge. I mean,
he's also, and again, I see Jay Snow says there's no comparison between the two. There actually is. I'm sorry, I'm not. Look, there actually is. And again, I don't want anybody to Pete's hyping up. No, I'm not. I'm having an off-season conversation where there's no fucking news out there at all, and we're having a talk. That's it.
It's first of all,
it's hypothetical fun. There's probably a slim chance it is even happening. Let me again just say this. 30 homers last year, 323 average. Anybody say don't compare them? 323 average, 396 on base percentage, 544 slugging, 940 OPS. Anybody saying Soto is a way better player? I'm sorry, but I'm talking 2024 alone. I'd rather Soto. He's better. He's not a much better player.
He's better, and he complements better because he's a lefty.
But way better is wild.
But way better is just, and here's,
I'm only talking 2024. I'm not talking career. I'm talking about their previous season. That's all.
Listen, if you make the argument that Vladdy Jr. has been inconsistent, I hear
fine. Fair game.
I'm one of the biggest proponents. I've been saying that same thing. When he's talking all that shit, that was my problem. I was like, you're talking a lot of shit, but you haven't really done it. Like, you haven't sustained it yet. He had a great 2024. I'd love to see what 2025 looks like. But here's my thing. If it was to happen that the Yankees did that and they went, okay, fine. I feel like you add him, you extend him, then you got to sign somebody for the outfield, right? I don't know who you go. Do you go grab Santander for a little bit? I don't know. Look, here's the thing. on paper, on the names, you're not going to love any of the names more than Soto. But if you really start to think about it, right? Santander hit 41 home runs or 43, something like he hit 40 plus home runs. 44. There you go.
Yeah.
He hit 44 home runs in 2024. So if you were to sign him for the outfield, you're bringing in the home run power that back to the outfield that you lost in Soto, right? If you were to trade for Vladdy, you're bringing in a massive offensive upgrade at first base. Our numbers at first base were abysmal in 2024.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you can go back to 2023. I think it wasn't much better. Our numbers at first base, we have not been getting production at first base. So now you're talking about,
man, for a long time.
Now you're talking about you got the pop in the outfield. It's not the same as Soto, but it's there. You got pop at first base that you haven't had, and then you still have some wiggle room to probably go and say, if we want to, we can have a conversation with maybe an Alex Bregman and get real spicy.
There's a lot you could do.
Do I love it? Do I say I like it more than Soto? No, because I love Soto.
I love Soto too. Soto to me, like you guys have heard me say this for years, he's the 1A. A couple of comments here. Tom, your takes have been terrible the entire chat, but this one is top of the line. Vladdy's WAR is 2.8. Vladdy's WAR was 6.2. And that's because he's not the greatest defender at first base, unless it would have been like 9 if he was a very good defender. So again, throughout the whole chat, you've been saying stuff that makes no sense. No, I don't think you watch baseball at all. You just decided to pop in here. But you obviously don't know what you're talking about at all.
And he's talking.
And again, I also just
it's contagious. No,
it's just been terrible take. This guy's been popping in, and he's had horrible takes the entire time. Now, oh, I didn't mean it literally. Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's what you thought it was. You meant it literally. Stop it, Tom.
Tommy,
come on, Tommy. Don't do this to me, Tom.
Tommy, it's too early in the offseason to put anybody in the bathroom.
We're having fun over here, folks.
Bro,
exactly.
Tom,
we're just having fun today, guys.
How was he in the first 2 months? I said it. I said he started slow. I was judging the first 2 months. Like,
That's right.
I'm not going to sit here and judge a guy who had the season that Vladdy Jr. had and talk about, well, the first 2 months were really bad. I don't give a damn about the first 2 months if the rest of the season looks like that. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Soto could have those same first 2 months. I'm not going to give a damn.
Correct.
Okay? I mean,
and he's also just about to be 26 years old, so he'll be cheaper, we know. And look, again, I don't want I just don't want anybody to sit here and act like we're advocating to make a different move than Juan Soto when I think NYU has been the biggest fan of Juan Soto since the very, very beginning. Love the guy. He's the most consistent player in baseball. You really know what you're going to get from Juan Soto. To me, you give that man his money and you lock him in long term, and that is all there is to it. There is no other way you go.
Facts.
I love the guy, man. Soto's my 1A, and I hope that meeting tomorrow. I'm going to be live for it. You guys know what I did last year. Live 13 hours. I think like 8 hours a day before, then 13 hours a day he signed. We don't stop here. I want to be live when Juan Soto signs with the New York Yankees so I can celebrate that shit and know, good, he's here for years to come. Now let's do what else we got to do the rest of the way. And we'll figure that out, man. He is my 1A. He is top of the line. There is nobody else that makes the Yankees better, in my opinion, than Juan Soto. The Judge-Soto combination, Soto-Judge, it's friggin' perfect, man. It's about as perfect as it gets. And I think even Soto himself has great opportunity to let the Yankees know that.
Yeah.
And that's why he needs to be paid, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime type of thing. You don't get a Soto. You don't get a Soto Judge every day. You can look at throughout history of Major League Baseball. Look at the duos that could change an entire league. They change divisions themselves. Manny and Poppy we know about, right? That's the most recent one. Look what those guys did as a history. We asked Jordan that question. And Jordan's simple answer was, yeah, they're great, but you got to see it for more years. You can't compare it to the history of Poppy and Manny. You can't do that yet. But you said that same time, Francis, which was great because they went to the World Series this year.
Yeah.
Francis said in that same interview, you're almost guaranteed to at least sniff winning a World Series if you keep these guys together long term. They just did.
Literally.
They just did. You have to keep Juan Soto a Yankee. It's that simple.
They'd be in position to do it again. they'd be in position to do it
year after year after year. You
next
made that
year,
point, and you're
year
right.
after, like, I'm not discounting Baltimore. I know Baltimore's great. I know that they're gonna get better. They got some things to figure out. They got new ownership. Congrats to them. But they're gonna need to show it to me in October for me to really start saying, okay, there'll be a problem. Houston,
Right.
yes, they were a thorn in our side for a very long time. They got dispatched by the Detroit Tigers this postseason. It's not a shot at Detroit, but the Houston that we knew would never have went out to Detroit. I'm sorry.
Oh, agreed. No way.
Wild card
no
or
way in
not,
hell.
the Houston that was tormenting the New York Yankees would never have gone out to the Detroit Tigers. That's who they were. It doesn't look like who they are anymore. Cleveland is Cleveland. They're a great freaking team. They're getting better. They're great. Here's the problem. We have their number. Minnesota, they might add some pieces.
We
You
have
never
their
know.
number, yeah.
We have their number.
That's right.
Kansas City, they won a World Series more recently than us. We have their number.
Bingo.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Bingo.
And Juan Soto knows that because he played with the team. He played against all those teams. He knows what it felt like this postseason run with the Yankees. That's going to be very hard to walk away from if the money's close. I'm sorry.
No, I'm right there with you, man. I think the Yankees are in a prime position. I get everybody. I'm with you guys on that. And another thing too with Soto that I would even love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation with the Yankees, because I could just sit there and go, no, fucking say this. You know what I mean? No, say this. Another great thing too is, look, the Yankees finally can sit there and go, we're not really an aging roster anymore. Do we have aging guys on the club? Yeah. Are some of those guys very important? 150%. But look, Juan, and even Scott, Morrison, hey, Austin Wells looks like a premier catcher. Yeah, he struggled for a little bit. Then he started to turn it on again, even towards the end of the World Series. But
he's going to get better.
He's going to get better. Austin Wells looks like a premier ball player, in my opinion. I think everybody could agree with that. Anthony Volpe, would anybody be shocked if Anthony Volpe all of a sudden really became somewhat of a borderline / constant all-star year after year? I think it's in his ability. Yes, did Anthony Volpe have a bit of a down year? Yes.
Yes, he did.
I'm the first person to bring it up. I'm a big fan of Anthony Volpe. Everybody knows that. I like this kid a lot. I want to see this kid succeed. It wouldn't shock me if Anthony Volpe turns the corner again as he gets a little older in his career and learns a little more about the league and what works best for him. He could be Jason Dominguez is right there, but we're also not even talking about guys like Caleb Durbin, guys like Roderick Arias. Yeah, he's got George Lombard. The Yankees have a strong system also. Yeah, Henry Lalane, Carlos Lagrange. I mean, they have a lot of good young guys coming up in this system still that you can sit there with Soto and go, look, hey, as these guys fall off, we do have other guys coming in. And matter of fact, a guy like Caleb Durbin could fit in that infield as soon as next year. Wednesday night, me, Los, and Kev, we're going to be live. We're going to talk about second base and center field. A lot of that stuff is going to be prospect related. So tune in for that one. But I don't want to talk too much about that right now because I want to give the expert, Los, a lot of the time to talk about the prospects. But it's also a good selling point to a guy like Soto is that, we're not slowing down. We just went to a World Series when we really just added you and some guys with different personalities. It's very different now. I think you got a really good chance with us the next couple of years. And we could back that up. We could back it up not with what ifs. We could back it up with what's here now.
What's here right now. And again, if it comes down to, well, like, how willing are you to continue to spend if you sign me to a long-term deal? Like, will you be willing to add another player in 2 years or something like that? Yes, the Yankees have shown that. They signed Garrett Cole. They signed Carlos Rodon. They signed Aaron Judge. We're talking about signing Juan Soto. This is a team that has consistently done this. Whether people want to argue, they can argue, but argue with a wall. You can't argue that Hal Steinbrenner has had a track record where he doesn't sign, because he has. Now, what Brian Cashman has chosen to do with the money that has been allotted to him, that's a whole different story. That's another argument for a different day. But you can't argue his willingness to spend. And if you're Juan Soto, you knew that when you got traded here, that this was a team that spent money. Okay.
Yeah.
And every year we're up there in terms of the highest payrolls, where we're always there, and they're always going to be there because the fan base and the business model do not let them do otherwise. So
Yeah,
in 2-3
that's
years
right.
from now, when the payroll is projected to be under freaking 200 million or whatever, what do you think the Yankees are going to do, guys? Not add?
Of
Not
course they're gonna
add?
add.
Of
And
course
here's
they're
the
going to
other thing
freaking
too,
add.
Francis. And I know, I had my video already talking about first base, and a lot of people didn't like when I said this, but I'm gonna say this again. If you lock in Soto, I do believe the Yankees like Christian. Hell, we were told that the Yankees they're very, very high on
Yeah,
Christian
high on
Walker.
Christian
They like
Walker,
Christian
yeah.
Walker a lot.
Yeah.
He could be a guy they could still go out there and sign with Soto. But I would even if money becomes an issue in that case, I tell you what I would do. There's an old man out there, but he's still really good, and he just won a Gold Glove in Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana.
I would bring him in on a 1-year deal even before Soto, and then approach that meeting even more again, or after, and say, look, we've already talked to his agent. We want to bring him in on, this is a Gold Glover. We're instantly better. Better. He could hit for power at Yankees. He's a switch hitter. It's perfect for us. He adds balance to the bottom of the order. I know people, age. It's 1 year. You're not talking about something that you're committing to, but it makes your club so much better.
Exactly. We're bringing him in because he's a Gold Glove. He's still a Gold Glove first baseman. And as recently as this past season, he was a very good bat. That's why you would bring him in. I loved when I saw the
328 on base percentage. And he's you talk about consistent. This dude's been consistent for a really, really long time.
Bro, when you
dropped
the sit down, I was like, oh, it's so funny because we were gonna go all rise that morning.
Yeah, that's right.
You had the issue with the OBS with us. So I sat here and I was like, all right, I'll record a video that I'm going to chop up into shorts or whatever. So the first one that I put out was Friday. And I was talking about first base. I was talking about Pete Alonso. I was like, I don't really see him as a fit.
Agreed.
I was like, Christian Walker, great player. Definitely would be a fit or whatever. But my guy would be Carlos Santana.
That makes sense.
For the same reason. Then you dropped the video and I'm like, yeah, we didn't talk about this. We didn't even talk because I thought we were going to talk a little bit about it in All Rise, like because I knew you were coming with the series. Yeah. We didn't even talk about it, but it just makes so much sense. Yes, he's 38. We know he's 38. His birth certificate is there. Okay. Now, some people would argue that.
Oh, God, here we go.
But we're not those guys. Okay. But look, the reason that we're on the same page with that shit without even talking about it is because it makes all the sense in the world. It's a very Yankee move. Yeah. And it's very inexpensive. You're talking about you probably sign up to a 1-year deal with like a vesting option for a second year.
No doubt about it.
Like something real simple, easy, doesn't cost much or whatever, and immediately upgrades the field and the line.
What do you think he would take? 12 million?
I think it's around there.
Around 11, 12, right? Doesn't that make sense for a 1-year deal?
I would say 12 million. I would say 12 million plus incentives. Like
bring
a
it
kicker,
up to 14.
If somehow he became the all-star first baseman or a reserve, I put a kicker there. A kicker for making it to the World Series, I put a kicker there. A kicker for staying healthy, playing a certain amount of games, all that. I'd sign him for like maybe 12 and then some sort of incentives that could push that 12 to like somewhere along the lines of 14 and a half. Right. If all those things hit. And then a vesting option, like depending, like, if you play 150 plus, and you hit
I would do it based off that because it's age.
Yeah, for age.
I would do it based off
sure.
at bats, plate appearances.
ABs, like you play let's say 148 or between 148 plus or 150 plus, and there's an option for year 2 at say 10 million or 9.5 or whatever, with also kickers and options that could turn that 9.5 to 12 or 13. I mean, we're doing Cashman's job, but he knows this shit that we're saying. This is not hard to do. Yeah, and I think Carlos Santana would definitely fucking come over here, man.
It makes a shit ton of sense. I like that move a lot, and like I said, based off Baseball Savant playing at Yankee Stadium, he would have added about an additional homer, so he had about 24 potentially. But he just fits. He's one of those guys that I feel like would have been like a dynasty type move back in the day where you add that constant veteran and he just fits in perfectly. Yeah. I feel like the Yankees need a little bit of that even more so right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What you thought Rizzo
people got to understand one thing. The whole Yandy Diaz thing with me, it's also become like a channel joke that we joke around about. Now, don't get me wrong. If the Yankees ended up trading for Yandy Diaz, I mean, that's a cool move. I like it.
Hell yeah.
I don't like it defensively. But I love it with the bat. The bat is phenomenal. You would get him for his bat. That's it.
I'm buying that jersey ASAP.
But if Carlos Santana, we got Gabagool. If Carlos Santana was the move and you bring Soto back too, holy shit, man. I mean, you look up and down that lineup now, maybe, and if you're the Yankees, maybe that then you
That's
start.
that's a formidable offense, Pete.
That's a very formidable. Depending on who second base is, who center field is, it doesn't
Pete,
really matter. Almost, it's already phenomenal.
Say they do it. Say they do it like this. Hear me out. Hear me out. Say they do it like this. They sign Santana. They re-sign Soto. Right. They give Dominguez the start opening day.
Makes all I love it.
And we're doing look at how people might get mad at me for saying I think so much better this lineup is than what we had in the World Series. Right? I'm not gonna do the numbers because that I think that's a whole other episode of the podcast, right? But at first base, you got Santana. Second base, say you put John Birdie. I'm cool. I'm rolling. We
got Birdie, you got Caleb Durbin.
You got Caleb Durbin. But I'm gonna say because I really don't believe the Durbin stuff because
I don't believe it. It reminds me of Bubba Crosby.
They're talking too much about it. I just don't believe it. I have a short I'm gonna put out about that too. Because when they do that name stuff, when all of a sudden this guy comes out and they won't shut up about him, it's because they're doing something completely different. It's
correct. That's regular Brian Cashman talking.
Yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I mean, if he hit over 3 something throughout the year, OPS over 824, something like that, he was phenomenal. But I just don't believe in that. I could 1000% see them saying, yeah, we're gonna go with John Birdie if he's healthy, and I'm not against it. Fine, he adds speed, and the bat is not bad. If he would have stayed healthy, we would have seen a little bit more of that. So say he's our second baseman. Anthony Volpe's our shortstop. Jazz Chisholm is our third baseman. Or maybe they switch. Maybe they rotate Birdie and Chisholm. I don't know. But I think Chisholm did decent at third base. Wells is catching.
Yeah, I like him at third base.
I like him at third base too. I think he'll get better over time.
Agreed.
Wells is catching. Aaron Judge in left. Dominguez in center. Juan Soto in right.
So much of a better team.
Such a better team, man. That offense isn't ridiculous to you. Look at the speed. Volpe, Birdie, Jazz, Wells even. Dominguez. That's 5 guys in a 9-man lineup that are stealing bases.
Yeah.
That can move, that are quick.
And the balance is wild.
Bro,
you add an additional switch hitter. The balance is absolutely wild.
Bro, that was my next point. You got Judge, the best righty in the league. You got Soto, arguably the best lefty in the league, right? Then you got Dominguez switch hitter, Santana switch hitter. Like, bro.
Imagine Santana and Yolanda batting like 7th.
That's
6th
wild.
or 7th. You just hide them down there batting 6th. That's something that we talked about all year, right? That the Yankees needed to do better with the bottom of the order. Yeah. So the top of the order gets pitched to. It makes a shit ton of sense to me.
Still got Cabrera on the bench, who's a switcher, who was very decent. He had a really good year this year. Yeah. I think that's where he's at right now with the Yankees. He's a bench piece. I don't see him being a starter. He's like
You could even go as far as leaving second base to your youth. You can go as far as saying, you know what? This spring training, you got Oswaldo Cabrera, you got John Berti, you got Caleb Durbin, you got Oswald Peraza. Maybe you bring in a minor league free agent or another free agent. Yorbit Vivas, I didn't even mention. That's 5 guys right there. You could literally say, look, everybody's going to play a ton. One of you are going to win the second base job. One of you are going to win the backup job. Go out there, perform. It is based off of what we see in spring training. So guess what? If you don't perform in spring, you're going to likely be in AAA. Let the standard be known. We know you get off to a slow start. You may not want to do that this year. Just let it be what it is. And if you, like you said before, if you got all those other positions filled right there, who gives a shit? Go for that. Why not? Try it. Go for it.
That's not even, it's not a bad idea. It's actually very good. It's something that we've argued for over years that, competition brings out the best in guys.
That's right.
Make it a competition. I would love that if we go into spring training and, maybe we don't sign a nice shiny piece for the infield, but we're like, hey, this spring training is going to be something fun to watch because you got Vivas who wants that spot. You got Caleb who wants that spot. John Birdie, veteran guy, but he wants to play still, wants that spot. Cabrera, he's been here, done it. He's going to want a spot. That's a nice little competition. And then, like you said, they sign a minor league free agent. You throw a 5th guy into that mix. That's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun story to watch all spring. Who wins it? Who gets it? I hope it's fair because sometimes those competitions aren't always the fairest.
Yankees, like, they do their little weirdo stuff every now and then, but I just think it makes a shit ton of sense for the club overall and kind of what they're doing and all that fun stuff. But Soto Watch does begin tomorrow, guys. Just to give everybody an update, we have a very, very, very Busy day tomorrow here at NYYU. I mean, extremely busy to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do an all rise because we're going to have Soto watch probably starting at 5 o'clock. I'm going to have Soto watch on, guys, maybe 5 to 6, 5 to 6:30, 5 to 7, depending on what it is. But I'll be available for that with everybody. Also, too, 8 o'clock is the premiere of NYYU On Site. Milano Market. You guys are going to really like that one. Trust me.
Make sure you eat before you watch it.
Yeah, don't watch that. Please don't watch it hungry. I'm telling you right now, do not watch it hungry. Also, too, for everybody that has helped, we're still about $350 short on our goal, but Jira just put in the link. Everybody that is trying to help me get this new computer to have a super computer that we can upgrade a shit ton here at NYYU, because this senile old computer right here is starting to give me some problems, and we just can't have that going into the year. But everybody who has already assisted and helped on that, this friggin' channel doesn't run without this community, just so you're aware of that. And this is just another example of that. So thank you guys so damn much. We're a little short, but we got time to get that done. So I just want to, once again, thank you all for everything you do for us here at the U. We are busting our friggin' ass to make this the largest, biggest, greatest Yankee channel, Yankee community, Yankee network that has ever friggin' existed. And just about every single day we get closer and closer to our goal. So it is what it is. But I just also wanted to say thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you guys are absolutely goated. This community is something else. And look, the more that, you know, they keep giving, the more that we're motivated and inspired to continue giving back to them.
Facts.
So it's reciprocity. It's going to work both ways. We haven't even really sat down and like started hammering out like, you know, real ideas and plans for 2025. And we already have so much on the board for 2025.
Oh, a ton.
And we haven't Francis, even, like, so imagine.
Well, it's funny. Francis brought up a phenomenal point. We're in New York and we have our spot that we like to go to, and just honestly, we're working. We literally talk business. We talk business. We have a good time. Francis brought up a great thing to me, man, because there's something we are working on that we haven't got to yet, but eventually we will. And Francis goes, bro, but look at like what we did all year. And it kind of refocused me in a sense where I'm like, shit, you're right. Like this year was insane.
It was.
Like, how can you be down on anything? If one thing doesn't happen that you wanted, there's always going to be something else. But what does next year have in store after what we've done this year? Like, there's some stuff that you guys don't even know about. Like the people we got to hang out with, to spend time with, to be in their company. Yeah. People we've met, new friends, great new members of this community. I mean, moments, the events, everything else. I mean, none of this stuff was planned this year like that. None of it was planned. And I cannot imagine what 2025 has in store for us. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait, man.
Me neither, man. Only way is up. Just the way, look at way things have been. And I'm saying this right now at 11:11. So look, check it out. Only way is up. The only way is up. Like I look at how 2024 went, bro. And that's why I said it, because you know sometimes we're like go right, like every month. You got
I'm every day go.
We were doing this, we were doing that, and you're like, yo, hit up this person, let's do that, whatever. And we're still working. Like right now, it's still off season. I'm texting people, Pete's texting people. We got shit that we're trying to do. You know what I mean? And shit is moving, shit is happening. But sometimes it's good, like those nights where we sit there and we're talking, to like sit back and be like, remember what we were talking about a year ago today.
Correct.
And how much has happened.
Correct.
Right?
It's crazy, man.
It's so wild. Like today's November 17th, right? And I think back to November 17th, 2023. It was amazing. It was amazing. We had great plans, but this year exceeded those expectations. So just know you're a part of the right community, man. 2025 is going all the way up. That's the only way that we can go. It's going all the way up. And I'm so glad that all of you, each and every one of you, are a part of it. Because I mean, this is just the best freaking community in the world. There's no other place to be, baby.
And sometimes it's hard to say it, but it still feels like it's just a start. You know what I mean? There's so much more coming your guys' way. Things that we're working on that you know, a lot of you, just because we got our team here and our company, but we can't let things out yet that aren't done. That's not official, but there's just some amazing things we're working on. Like even now, knowing that hopefully, in this next week or so, 2 weeks, it's about next week. When I add this new computer, guys, Game Season Live is going to be different than anything you've ever seen. Like, we're going to be upgraded so much to be able to do things that I'm capable of doing, but my computer's not. My system's not capable of handling it. Yeah. So when I upgrade this and we can take NYU just as it is right now, what we can control, to a whole new level, you don't even understand what a difference that makes for us, and it makes for your viewing pleasure. I mean, your viewing pleasure of watching NYU is going to get even better. And that's all we try to do. We try to put on the best show for you guys. We try to entertain you. We try to make you have a good time and enjoy what we do. And I'm just thankful that we can do it again. This is the first time we've been live. Not the first time I've been live, but me and Francis together. Francis wasn't able to make the brunch on Sunday, but oh man, did we have a time? Did we not? We had an unbelievable time.
Still torn over that, man. I saw the pictures. I saw the stuff, man. You guys look like you turned up all the way. Just one of those things where it worked out. That was the date that it worked. And I had a prior engagement, so I was out of town. But oh man, you know, I'm sure I'm gonna be at the next one.
Tomorrow too, during Soto Watch, we're doing the raffle.
Oh, yes, there you go.
We're doing the raffle. So remember that, guys. We're doing the raffle. Johnny Riv drops $100. Let me tell you something. Johnny Riv. You know, I can't even. One day I'm gonna tell you guys a moment that this man came through for me, and probably one of the biggest moments of my life, to be quite honest with you. A big moment. That man has come through for us like you can't even imagine. So God bless you, brother. Everybody here. You guys are absolutely the friggin' best, man. But I'll wrap up with that. We got so much being worked on for you guys. The raffle giveaway. Raffles are still available until tomorrow. So if anybody wants to enter the raffle, we're giving away a game-used helmet of the Tigers with all signatures on it, including Miguel Cabrera. We're giving Kansas City Sal Perez signature on there, a bunch of other signatures on there. We're also going to be giving away a Henry Lalane signed ball.
Hey,
so there'll be 3 winners. We're going to pick those out tomorrow. I got all the raffle tickets. If anybody wants to get a raffle ticket, hit me up, nyunderground@yahoo.com. We'll get it done for you guys. But Francis, I'm done with my talking today. I'll give you the final word. And the wrap-up, of course. I forgot you got to do the wrap-up.
Gotta do the right. This is DS. We've been doing so much different content. Sometimes you forget which is which.
Facts.
Listen, man. You already know tomorrow's a big day for the U. Soto Watch commences. We got the Milano Market on site. That's gonna be phenomenal. Please remember what we told you. Please do not watch that on an empty stomach. Okay. It's not for the faint of heart. So make sure you are there. If you have not liked this video already, please smack that like button. This community grows every single day, but it's because of the little contributions, like to simple ones, like smacking the like, subscribing if you haven't already.
Free to do, folks. Free to do.
It's free. It costs nothing, but it means the world to us, and it helps us in everything that we do. And yeah, man, I'm super excited to really kick this off season off. I know it's gonna be a wild ride, man. Soto's just the tip of the iceberg. There's gonna be so much more to cover even after that deal gets done. So keep it locked and stay tuned. This is the place to be, and the next episode will in fact be the best episode.
Oh man, all day, every day, guys. You know we will never come whack on a designated Spittaz track. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we are out. Soto Watch begins tomorrow. Let's get it, baby. Peace out. Have a great night.
22.
Can't make a promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. Bought a new crib, that's a goddamn flex. Sign that check. Told them last year that I been up next. Can't take calls, but I send that text. From way downtown, but the shit's still wet.